welcome guys. Welcome back to another episode of We Be Talking. Listen, we're happy to have you here today.
We be talking, what's the word? Everything you never heard. We be talking, talking.
We have a good topic and we want you to make sure that you're going to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, okay? Make sure you comment down below, all right? Like Ave said in a previous video, we appreciate the personal tags, the emails, and et cetera, and even the pictures that y'all sent us. We appreciate it. But please make sure that you just comment down below so we can have a conversation with y'all, okay? So let me introduce everybody. I'm your girl, Tamara. Hey, how y'all doing? That's my girl, Ave, right there with the dimples. Get it, girl. And that's Sheikah, looking as beautiful as ever.
Hello.
Hey, all right. So let's talk about when you have a friend or you're in a relationship with somebody and this person apologizes for something, right? But it's only in words. Their behavior never changes.
Wow.
What do you do? And this I'm not talking about like, I'm sorry. I'm talking about like a heartfelt, you know how they just know how to, you know, appeal to your emotions and get you in a place where you're like, okay, yeah, they really mean it this time. And they give you that heartfelt apology, but their behavior, their actions doesn't change. Yeah. What do you do? Guys, tell us, comment down below. Tell us what you do.
I put the left foot.
Put on the walking shoes.
And I walk on.
No, I kick them.
Kick them to the
curb.
I mean, because honestly, are you mature? Like, why are you? I think it's a maturity thing when it comes to a person being honest about how they really feel. Because if they apologize for something and their actions don't line up with what they're saying, then they don't really mean it. They haven't grown to the level to understand where you're coming from. You get what I'm saying? They don't see their wrongdoing. They don't see how that affected you. And they're probably just trying to appease you for the moment with, oh, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do it no more. Help me with that. So for me, I think it's more so, I don't really need to engage in whatever type of relationship. I'm not saying completely like utterly don't ever speak to that person again, but you know how far to go, especially if they had to apologize to you about something, then you know that the relationship y'all in is some significance to you if it bothered you, you know, to the point of, okay, this is what's going on. So I would cut back. I really would. There's a thing called protecting your peace. And
yes.
And that's biblical if you want.
I believe in that.
So I mean, not saying that I have to completely not deal with them at all, but on whatever level I'm dealing with them on, I know that I can. I gotta protect my peace. I gotta protect my heart, and you just ain't it. And until you grow to that, then maybe we need to scale back a little bit. So that's me. I wouldn't be bothered.
What about you, Ave?
I agree with Sheikah in the fact that what it really comes down to is the effort that you're putting into changing the behavior. Like, I understand that if you are accustomed to doing something and we've been friends or in a relationship for years and you're accustomed to operating in that manner, and then when I finally voice my opinion to you of, I don't like X, Y, and Z, and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I apologize. I have a level of grace to understand that you're not going to get it right perfectly every single time, that, you know, because it's going to be easier to kind of slip back into that way of things. But I want to actively see that you are trying to not do it again. You know what I mean? For example, my cousin, when we were younger, we would always, when we say her name, we would say her name short, like a shorter version of her name. And what, like this for years, y'all. And so like she'd said to me, she was like, you know, I really like it when people say my full name, because technically that's not my name, you know, because down south, everybody a little nickname. Your cousin ain't really, you know, you don't use government. And so I was like, oh, okay, bet. And so then I would catch myself if we're in a conversation and I would say the nickname, like with a shortened version of her name. And then I would like, you know, stretch it out to add the rest of the name that I didn't put in. And she would laugh. She's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like, no, it's not okay. You let me know that this was something that you did not like, and I am going to actively work on it until it becomes as common to me as the previous thing was.
But that's totally different. That's totally different from somebody apologizing for doing something that have,
But don't change your behavior.
and they're actively trying, because I can work with that. But I can't work with nothing. You know what I mean? And I think that, to be honest, I think that's why so many marriages fail. And I just go to this aspect, other relationships as well. But I can see if I tell my husband something he never tried, then I'm like, that's frustrating. And like, I don't want to do this no more. You get to the point of like, let's just not do this, because apparently you don't care.
That spells narcissist to me.
Well, what do you feel about it, Tamara? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I agree with what y'all said. Like, I could work with somebody that's trying, even if, you know, they're trying and they're not completely getting it right or whatever. I could work with that because I see that you're trying. But I can't deal with somebody that don't care and want to come to you, you know, after you've done something, and after they've done something to you, that want to constantly, you know, come and say, oh, I'm sorry or whatever. But you're not sorry. You're lying. You're a liar.
Right.
You're not sorry because you're not doing anything to change what you're doing to hurt me or what you're doing to offend me or whatever. You don't care about this relationship or this friendship or whatever it is. You don't care about it. And you're a liar. So I don't want to deal with somebody like that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're a liar.
So do you think that, okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that they could care for you, right? But they're just selfish? Because a lot of times,
immature, like
selfish people don't care about nobody but themselves. There's no way you can care and be selfish.
Right. Hold on now. Hold on. There is, because I'm recovering selfish. Okay. Because my definition of selfish, I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember when we had that was it like the family thing at the church that one time and we were talking about like selfish and stuff like that, right? My definition is selfish is you in the bathroom and you ain't got no toilet paper and I got some and I don't give it to you. That's selfish. My version of selfish is you outside and you is literally parched and I got water and I ain't really thirsty and I can give it to you, but I won't give it to you. That's selfish. But that's not what the true definition of selfishness
I mean,
was.
But that's a level of selfishness.
That's a level,
right.
A level of selfishness, right? But if you view selfishness through just that lens, you won't see yourself as a selfish individual. Because I remember saying a point where it was like, you mean to tell me if you step on my toe and I tell you that I got a problem with you stepping on my doggone toe, that I'm selfish? I'm not selfish. I'm telling you, I'm about sick and tired of you stepping on my doggone toe. And so the way it was broken down, you know what I'm talking about, Sheikah?
I know exactly
you
what you're
got
talking
it. Like it was a message that really stuck with me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it really stuck with me. And so I had to change my mind because I was looking at selfishness through just this one lens, and it's such a wider scope. So if you're with someone, do you think that it could be when they're saying, because you said heartfelt apology, that they truly mean it, like one of them good old, boy, I'm about to break you down. I'm about to ride it like a rodeo. I'm about to make you see the stars, the moon, and everything, because that was just too good. You know what I mean? Like you feeling good. And so, and then they continue to do the same behavior. They could still care about you, but do you think that they're still being selfish in the way that they're viewing it? Like if you say—
one or two things. But it has to be one or two things, because so
they both can't coexist.
My thing is, if we're in a relationship and you apologize because I've told you something, and in that moment you're like, I am so sorry. I would never do. I never meant to make you feel that way. I would never do this. I'm sorry, right? And then they continue with no effort that they heard you. And they continue to do this constantly.
And there's no way you can say that they care.
I was gonna say it's one or two things. Either it boils down to you don't care enough about me to pay attention to me.
Okay.
You're not paying attention to what I was saying, or when I told you, you did that to appease me, but you didn't take the time to see what I was saying, to understand what I was saying, to see it from my perspective. And if you're gonna be in a relationship, I don't care what type of relationship, you're gonna have to see that individual. And I'm not, of course, I'm not talking about just looking at them. I'm saying hearing them, understanding their personality. See what they're saying. I know some things you be like, okay, I know this is gonna make her feel this way, or if I say that, that's gonna do this. Let me not even go down that road with her because you gotta get to know the person. So either you don't know me, and that's a huge problem depending on what type of relationship we in. And I keep telling you this, and you constantly, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a level of nonchalantness. I don't care. I'm not trying to care in that scenario. And I just said that to appease you, because at some point, you gotta like see the person, understand what they're saying, if you care to fix it. If you don't care, then you just go on about your day like you've been doing. Because certain habits that you formed and created that person don't like, is hard to break. I get it. But the effort, what we're talking, like, show me. Okay, oh man, I realized you said you didn't like that. I'm sorry. I mean, especially if you do it because it's a habit and you know they don't like you did with her name. That was a habit. That was a habit you had formed. It wasn't intentional.
You try.
Right, it wasn't intentional, but you cared enough about your cousin to remember. Yeah. Oh man, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, we're gonna fix it. Versus, so it's a difference, and that is extremely selfish because it's all about you.
So
you ain't trying to care about nobody else.
The effort that is put into it is what changes it from
absolutely
meaning
of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Because after a while, that apology is not going to mean anything because there's no follow-up. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
there's nothing that tells me more that you're sorry about something and that you're really apologetic about something than a changed behavior. If your behavior doesn't change, then what you're saying, your words no longer mean anything. They hold no value anymore.
Absolutely.
So you can apologize until you're blue in the face. But if you're not changing that behavior, then it no longer means anything. You're just talking just to talk. But you do have those people that are, I guess you would say, talented enough, that know how to appeal to somebody's emotions, especially if you know the person, if you know that, if you say certain things, you could kind of break them down emotionally, and they would use that to try to break you down just so they could get another chance. I think that's a level of narcissism that I don't even want to deal with. That's how you
witchcraft.
Come on now. Come on.
I'm joking, but I'm saying it's like having a spouse who continues to cheat or violate the relationship, and you keep telling them, okay, you do it one time, all right, babe, I'm sorry, this happened to me, I'm sorry, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we go on, we move, and then you do it again. All right now, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, I love you. Eventually, he do it again, she do it again, you're gonna be like, there's no way you can love me and continue to
come on now.
Regardless of what the issue is, you ain't tried to seek no help. You haven't tried to do this. You haven't did this. You continually go down the same road that you've been going down, and there is no change. I don't care how much you love me. You say you love me. But Tina Turner said, "What love got to do with it?"
Come on, nothing.
That's what the term came from. What does love have to do with this?
Do with it?
Absolutely nothing, because your loving me isn't working.
Right. And it's not enough. Your loving me is not enough for you to change your behavior. Right. So go on with that.
So is
done.
Yeah.
So if you don't care for me, you have no respect for me, then we should just discontinue this relationship.
So how many times do you feel like somebody needs to apologize to you? Do the same thing. How many times? Like, what's your tolerance? Like, how many? Because you have some people that'll just. Some people will go through hell for years and years and years and years, right? And they just have a tolerance for it. They just have a tolerance for foolishness. They just, some people will say, well, I love him, I love her, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, so how long does it take? How long should it take you to realize that somebody really don't care about you and that you should just leave it alone? How long?
I think the older that I get, my patience isn't as long. I don't know when it comes to certain things, when dealing with people, because of some of the things I've dealt with from people,
Yeah.
and I would consider myself long suffering. I mean, I'm not like the Lord at all, but when we're talking about human loving long, I felt as though, and see, that's another thing. That's all wrong. Okay, unconditional. Amen. I mean, but you know, I guess it depends on what it is and who it is and what, because if it's my child,
absolutely.
if it's my child, then it's like one of those things you just,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm
Yeah,
gonna cut it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna continue to give you more chances after chance. It just depends on what and who it is, depending on the chances you get with me. So
Absolutely.
I think
And
that's for me. So
Yeah. I think for me, the hardest thing is, especially with family, people that you love, you know what I'm saying? That it's hard to say, man, I'm gonna cut you off because you just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you one thing, once I get to the point of cutting you off,
it is
family
over.
or no family,
Yeah,
you are non-existent.
that is my attitude verbatim. Once I'm over it,
I'm over it.
I mean, you don't want me to get to that point because it'll be the person you never knew I was. Like, it was like I never knew this person.
Okay. Yeah, right? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You were like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loyal till I'm loyal, but when I'm done, I'm loyal to being done.
Come on now.
I like that.
It's not a matter
extremely
of
loyal.
holding grudges. It's not a matter of holding grudges. It's just over. It's like, I know how to handle you now. I know how to deal with you now. And that's just it.
Yeah. And I think my approach to it being over is never like I never talk to you like, oh God.
Right.
Like, don't call me. It's never that. It's just the access you had to me before
will be limited. Yeah.
We're like someone, you know what I mean? It's like a hey, how you doing? Bye, and move on. It's not a you got that access to me at all. I can't explain. I've always been this way.
So that's why you stick to my calls when I call?
Probably. I didn't even get that 11 o'clock call last night, but it's okay. I realized you was extremely tired. So I'm not holding it.
Wow.
You can barely keep your eyes open during the talk last night, but it's okay.
I was struggling last night, y'all. Seriously.
I mean, you asked for it. I had to.
I did. I love it though. I love it. I love.
I'm sorry.
Emotional.
No, but people who like that with me, they know who they are.
Yeah.
They ain't got to guess.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So I know you said that if they're trying and if they're not trying and they're apologizing, trying, and you're like, you know what, that's it, right? But you know how sometimes people kind of have that aha epiphany moment after they've lost access to you. Would there ever be a reconciliation? Would there ever be a opportunity to be like, listen, go ahead.
Probably, but not in the way that we were before. When my trust is gone, I have a relationship or had a relationship right now. There's nothing there, like no issues. There can be reconciliation, but I never see me going down that road that I was before with the individual.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't be nasty. And if they needed something, I would definitely, be there if they truly need. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't be a nasty person. It wouldn't be don't ever talk to me or no, but it's just we not going there ever again. You never be able to do me the way you did me before.
Gotcha.
Right. Because you won't have that access to my heart like you did. It's just like me and my ex-husband. If you talk to my ex-husband right now, he'll tell you how he messed up, how he was wrong, and how all of these things, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes just listening to him, I'd be like, well, maybe he really does realize that he messed up. But do you think that I'm going to be like, okay, well, let's go work it out? Never. Because I feel like not only was what he did, what the damage that he did was so intense, and not that I haven't forgiven, but I would be stupid if I were to allow you that same type of access. So, because You know what I'm saying? I just can't allow you to get that access, because what if you do it again? And even if I know that you would never ever do it again, that's just how I am. Once we're done, and we're moved on, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Because
people do say that, people do have that moment where, man, dang, and you find out so quick. I was watching Shaquille O'Neal talking about Shawnee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was on a podcast or something like that.
He
was talking about Shawnee, and another guy wanted to say, well, no, it wasn't just your fault. He was like, nah, it was all me.
Yep.
It was all me. He was like, she was everything I needed. She was everything I wanted. But he was like, I was greedy. You know what I'm saying? She was beautiful. She gave me mad kids. She was still beautiful. But he was like, I was greedy. Yep. And now look at Shawnee. Shawnee's happily married to, a man. Come on, but I love the fact that he can acknowledge that it was his fault. And then, you know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that he could acknowledge that, because some people would say, well, I did this, but she did this too. And that, just take the blame and move on and be a better person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think Shawnee would ever, because I'm pretty sure at some point Shaq was like, yo, what's up? Let's work this out. But I don't think she, I think she was at the point where she was like, nah, this is irreversible. We're not going to go backwards. We're going to leave it right here.
It's not that we don't forgive, because forgiving and trusting is totally two different things.
Exactly.
Say you have someone that stole your purse, and every time they come around, they always stealing.
Yeah.
So what you realize is, okay, I forgave you for that. But at the same time, I got to build my trust with you. When you come around, that don't mean I ain't going to have my stuff. Mm-hmm. Because if I didn't forgive you, I wouldn't let you around. But I forgave you so you can come around. But I'm never going to go back to that point with you again, because I got to guard this.
Yeah, you ain't finna steal my stuff because you a thief.
But you're not finna steal my stuff. Same thing. I got to guard my heart.
Yeah,
I'm guarding it.
Come on now.
So you can come around. We can be friends on a superficial
level. Yeah.
I don't know you like that, boy. I thought I did. Now we got to grow this thing over again.
Come on.
It'll be Holy Spirit's discretion to say, start a new relationship, like build with this individual again, because trust has to be built once.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the difference when I meet with this. That's the difference when I say as far as I'm not going to be nasty, but that access, like me completely letting my guards down and trusting you, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, play, because you proven me, who you are.
I was just going to say, some people say you got to forgive and forget and all that stuff.
That's
but,
the elephant didn't. The elephant didn't. That's the doggone show. That mug showed up to the funeral.
It sure did.
After he done murked her, then went to homegirl village, tore up the house and tore up the whole village.
And brung his players with him.
Brung the squad with him, like we rolling.
And tow it up.
Tow it
but see,
up. Ain't nobody got a house.
We ain't supposed to be like the elephant, though. We got to be like Christ Jesus.
Yes.
So, But I'm like, again, we gotta forgive him. Yeah, she did.
She had a business, but work on me, Lord. Yes, but if I was an elephant, I'm still like I forgiveness is a very hard thing for me. Only because I try my hardest to be an individual that would never like I try to treat people how I want to be treated, you know what I mean? And so I'm loyal sometimes to a fault. I'm very giving sometimes to a fault. And so when I am hurt, I just cannot, because I'm just like, how, I don't understand how you could even, you know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I can lie with the best of them. You know, to be like, no, we good. No, we good. We good. I mean, I repent after, because I want to be here for the new heaven and the new earth. But I'm like, yes, Lord, I forgive you. But truthfully, it's something that I had to work on. I didn't realize I had an issue until I was praying one day, and I was like, Lord, show me. I want to be more like you. And he was like, you got forgiveness in your heart. And I was like, hold on, what? And then, I was like, well, we're going to have to put that on like a payment plan thing. Like I can't work on it all at one time. Like we got to do a little bit January, a little bit February, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll forgive about 25% of what the person did to me. So just don't come before then, because again, I want to be here for the new heaven and the new earth. But yeah, you know, I say all that to say that you know, I mean, if the person is trying, then go forward. If the person isn't trying and you haven't met your number yet, that's enough. Should you continue to see what happens, or should you just let it go? Because remember, everybody has a number.
I think we probably should lower our expectations when it comes to other people too. I think what we expect from other people sometimes is just unrealistic. And we probably wouldn't appreciate if somebody expected that of ourselves. So yeah, unrealistic expectations of others and putting them in a place where they shouldn't be, so that when they hurt you, it's like, oh my gosh, how could I ever forgive this? Because this person just did this to me. But
I need therapy, Tamara.
Listen, let me tell you something. Unforgiveness is a horrible thing. It is not something that you want to hold on to, because you know, you don't want to die with unforgiveness in your heart.
And I think too, just understanding how it works. You completely let it go. And I know that that's for each his own. It's a, you know, individual thing of how to let go. But Pastor get this illustration, and people still be like, okay, I can let this paper towel roll go. But this so with that being said, the same way when it comes to spiritual things, it's a faith walk, because you let it go, but when you see that person, something may come in your head. You gotta be like, no, I let that go. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna move forward. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that you have to experience with the Father. It's a revelation that He has to give you concerning forgiveness. But with that being said, I just feel like what Tamara said at the end was huge, and I think everybody that's watching this really need to listen, because that's what we do. Our kids, our spouses, our parents, our friends, our closest friends, we put unrealistic expectations on them. And if we would take that off of people, then there'd be no room. There would be no room to be hurt in real life. You know what I mean? The expectation, like, you, because of who you are, you better. And then the minute they cross that line, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, you go across.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that is huge. That's a huge component to keep you from, I guess, even getting to this point. But I mean, what y'all think? Y'all let us know in the chat how y'all feel about it. What y'all think? Yeah. Please let us know in the chat. I'm enjoying some of the conversations I've had in the chat or whatever. But let us know in the chat. I said that 15 times.
Please, because you done said it 3 times.
For a reason. Yes. And with that being said, go ahead and click that notification bell so you can know when we post another video. You can be right on top with us. Okay. We enjoy you guys. And again, I don't know if we tell you enough. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you for continuing with us. With that being said, until next time.
Bye.